LSU has found a way to inverse their problems. They did not have a defense with Jane Daniels, wasted away that Heisman year. Truthfully, wasted it away. Very similar to Miami last year. They invested so much into the defense. Blake Baker, we're going to get Harold Perkins back. We're going to basically revamp this entire defense with the guys that we know are going to work. A really good mix. But then the offense continues from the Heisman season, dropping down a little bit last year, and you felt, yeah, we put a lot on Garrett Nussmeier's shoulders, a lot on his shoulders. But, we got Caden Durham, this true freshman running back. He's really good. We're going to have a second-year OC. Yeah, we're losing two critical pieces, and they really do turn out to be very critical pieces on the offensive line. But we added some real talented pieces in terms of Nick Anderson. Barian Brown was a key piece in the portal. We get Aaron Anderson back and a lot of different guys. This offense, the big question mark being the O-line, but I think we have enough pieces here to feel good. 2 for 11 on third down, 57 rush yards, 2.6 yards per attempt. It's important to note, no Caden Durham. And it's important to note that Garrett Nussmeier is dealing with an injury that you can play through, but when you don't have anything to complement him, we once again get into this territory where we're putting the responsibility and the weight of the world on a quarterback that isn't this plus athlete. Nussmeier can be surgical, but when he's playing at 85, maybe 80, could be even less percentage of what he could be, and you're putting that same responsibility that we saw in 2024, the offense is what it is right now. And maybe they're just trying to limp into a bye week, but you're not going to go win at Oxford. Now, I thought that when I made my prediction that LSU was going to win this game, I thought Caden Durham was going to play. He ended up being a late scratch. I thought a lot of things, but I don't even think Caden Durham's going to fix this rushing offense or the lack of commitment to the run. I really don't know what the identity is of this LSU offense, and we're at week 6. The offensive line is a problem. It's a massive problem, knowing what they have on the rest of the schedule. And even when Ole Miss has 14 penalties, loses the penalty battle at home somehow, loses the turnover battle, they still dominated. Now, obviously, the score will not indicate that Ole Miss dominated here. I think the only thing that was stopping them from blowing out LSU was the penalties and turnovers. The things that they were shooting themselves in the foot. Because LSU basically limped their way into this game being competitive. Their offense is what's holding them back because the defense is not the problem here. It's far from the problem. And I begin to wonder, even if we go into the bye week with LSU and Nussmeier gets fully healthy and Caden Durham gets healthy and all these pieces are there, the core problem is the offensive line and the lack of an identity. You're not going to win football games like this. And what I thought was potentially, just something we kind of build up and it becomes a rumor that, we see what Clemson became and then LSU beat them, so it doesn't become as much of a quality win. So maybe they're a little overrated. And I still really did trust this team. My trust is now wavered a little bit, but what hasn't wavered is my faith in Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. If I am Steve Sarkisian, I am pissed because right now I'm watching a D2 national championship winning quarterback, Trinidad Chambly. Respect his name. You can't take him out at this point. Even if Austin Simmons comes back healthy, you respect the hot hand. But a guy that I don't think anyone in the state of maybe Texas or the surrounding areas knew who Trinidad Chambly is. I don't even think Ole Miss fans, they probably got their game sheet, looked at the depth chart, looked at the two-man, said, oh, I hope we could see maybe a little bit of this Trinidad Chambly. Oh, okay, so we're going to blow out this team and he's just going to run in maybe a couple of touchdowns, But the reason why I mentioned Sarkisian is all this hype about Arch Manning. He's this immaculate play caller. This offense is going to be just unstoppable. And Lane Kiffin can just go pick up basically anybody and it's going to work. And that's not to discredit Chambly. There's a reason why Lane Kiffin said, okay, I'm going to bring you onto this roster. Because he knows talent. He knows quarterbacks are going to fit his system. It's a two-way street here. We're not going to disrespect Chambly because he's a D2 national championship quarterback, but at the same time, it really does feel like anybody that we drop into this Ole Miss offense, it's going to work. It just is. And they were able to move the ball just enough against this LSU team that was number 4 in the nation. They basically swapped spots. I don't know where LSU fell in the AP poll, but Ole Miss number 4 in the nation. A little high for me, but what could be the story of the season is Trinidad Chambly, this D2 championship head quarterback, steps in for Austin Simmons, someone that has 8 degrees, and we thought he was going to be a potential, Tua 2.0 for this Ole Miss team, but we didn't know what Ole Miss was going to be, just primarily because a mixed bag of they lost a lot, they did, and they didn't have as remarkable of a portal as they did the year prior. So we're looking at a mixed bag here, and we didn't really know what Ole Miss could be. I believe their line was 8.5? Number 4 team in the nation right now. And LSU, it's not a Nussmeier problem. It's not a Durham problem. I don't even know if it's a fully offensive line problem. It's an identity problem. And I feel like the pressurized system that Brian Kelly's built out. Now, can we ask a question, by the way? Can we ask if the offense is going to get better? No, I'll leave it as is. What's their identity? That's my biggest worry for him.